A dark, chaotic ancient city with narrow, crowded streets filled with people engaging in sinful acts, arguing, stealing, and partaking in immoral gatherings. The marketplace is filled with dishonesty, with merchants cheating customers. In the alleys, violence and corruption are rampant. The atmosphere is tense, with dark storm clouds forming above, casting an eerie glow over the city. The buildings appear worn and oppressive, symbolizing spiritual decay. The overall scene should feel heavy with wickedness, reflecting the moral downfall of Sodom and Gomorrah. A serene hilltop overlooking the distant cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham, an elderly man in traditional ancient attire, kneels with his hands lifted in earnest prayer. A warm, divine light shines down from the sky, illuminating him, contrasting with the dark clouds gathering over the cities in the distance. The atmosphere is solemn yet powerful, emphasizing Abraham's deep plea to God. The background features rolling hills and a vast sky, signifying the divine presence. A tense nighttime scene at the city gates of Sodom. Two angels, appearing as ordinary travelers, enter the corrupt city, where dim torchlight casts eerie shadows on the rough stone walls. Lot, a middle-aged man in traditional ancient robes, greets them urgently, his face filled with concern. Behind them, suspicious and wicked townspeople lurk, watching with sinister intent. The atmosphere is dark and foreboding, with a sense of danger in the air. Inside Lot's home, a warm but anxious setting, oil lamps flicker as the angels sit at a simple table. Outside, an angry mob with torches and weapons gathers, shouting and pounding on the door. The scene reaches its climax as a burst of divine light blinds the mob, causing them to stumble in confusion. Inside a dimly lit ancient home, Lot, his wife, and his two daughters sit with expressions of fear and urgency as a radiant angel stands before them, delivering a grave warning. The angel glows with a divine light, contrasting the dark and tense atmosphere inside the house. Shadows flicker on the stone walls from oil lamps. Outside, the first light of dawn begins to break over the wicked city of Sodom. In the distance, storm clouds loom ominously, foreshadowing divine judgment. The angel reaches out, ready to guide Lot's family to safety. A dramatic and apocalyptic scene of Sodom and Gomorrah being consumed by fire and brimstone. From a distant hill, a fiery inferno engulfs the city, with massive flames rising into the darkened sky. The once thriving streets crumble as buildings collapse under the intense heat. Thick smoke billows, turning the sky an eerie red and orange. In the foreground, silhouettes of terrified people run in desperation, their faces filled with horror. The overwhelming power of divine judgment is evident as the cities are completely consumed. A barren desert path under a gloomy sky, with Lot and his two daughters running forward in fear and urgency. Lot's wife, slightly behind them, has turned her head to look back at the burning cities in the distance. In that instant, her figure begins transforming into a pillar of salt, her body stiffening and turning pale and grainy, blending with the desert sands. The fiery glow from Sodom and Gomorrah illuminates the scene in the background, while the desert wind begins to swirl around the new salt pillar, symbolizing the tragic consequence of disobedience. A peaceful, distant land bathed in the golden light of sunrise. Lot and his two daughters walk along a quiet path, their silhouettes small against the vast landscape. The destruction is far behind them, and the sky is now calm and clear, symbolizing a new beginning. Gentle hills and sparse vegetation surround them, representing both solitude and hope. The warm glow of the morning sun highlights their journey forward, emphasizing the lesson of obedience and God's mercy.